Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the horror show. I'm Cecil, Laird,
Robert Duell,
and Jaime Fuego here.
and we are here to review the recent release, which is kind of close to my heart. It is a comic book driven horror movie, which should be called maybe How to Train Your Serial Killer, because
There's a tie-in there.
Tie-in there, yes. This movie was written and directed by Jay Baruchel of the How to Train Your Dragon fame. And this is a genuine slasher movie that if you watch the trailer, you might mistake it for a horror comedy, but this ended up being much more of a straight horror movie than it even lets on. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I will say that perhaps it's because of my affinity. I've been reading comic books since 1992 when Superman died at the end of the year. I've been reading comics since then. I've been collecting since then. I have way more comics than I should, and this is a movie about a serial killer that is inspired by a serial killer comic book, and I absolutely ended up loving the movie. I really did. There were aspects that are a bit shortcoming at times, sure, but overall it's different, and I enjoyed it, and it was a satisfying ending, so I quite liked this movie. Robert?
I actually had a lot more fun with this movie than I thought I was going to. I'm not a very big fan of Jay Baruchel. Am I pronouncing it right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I always butcher that damn name. But yeah, no, it's like, and again, like from what Cecil was saying, from when we saw the trailer, you'd think it was more like that horror comedy. So, okay, cool. But it was a really nice surprise that it wasn't that at all. We had some nice little comedy quips and everything like that, but for the most part, it was straight down the middle of gore and horror. Mm-hmm. I definitely enjoyed it, and I think honestly I would recommend definitely having to check it out. Fuego?
I was down with this one as well, man. I mean, this follows in the parade of self-aware horror, but I love that sort of meta-ness.
Randy was your favorite character in Scream.
Exactly, and I still cry for his death all the time. Spoilers. Anyway,
gonna get to meet him soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Jimmy Kennedy, Mad Monster, October here in Arizona. Nonetheless, though, yeah, I was definitely with all of the assembled combatants and people, and Jay, especially with a predominantly comedic background. I thought this was going to be more tongue-in-cheek, so on and so forth, but this shit was serious, man, and it kind of disturbed me at times, especially the recreation of certain kills from the comics and stuff, when we get the reveal about who this killer is, the connection, the obsessiveness, all that different stuff. Great cast, solidly acted, and I just really think that girl from Fast and the Furious is super hot.
Jordana Brewster.
I don't know what it is, but she's
still smoking, man.
Definitely,
yeah.
Anyway,
she still got it.
Yeah, and she's wearing those glasses. I don't know what it is.
There's some of those glasses. Yeah.
So the story of this one is about a group of people, a group of young kids, not young kids, but young adults that work together on a comic book that is a comic book that is originally based on a slasher story that the creator heard about, and he's just sort of embellished and continued and created his own kills, and the comic is at its end, and he's trying to think of a good ending through the entire movie. And it turns out that suddenly people are starting to show up dead. Now that the news is getting out that the comic is ending, people are starting to show up dead in the ways that have been demonstrated within the comic. Mm-hmm. So the people that are all, Jay Baruchel and the guy that's actually creating the comic and the girl that's there with them, all of them are trying to figure out what's going on while they keep running across bodies, and the bodies get closer and closer and closer to the group, and ultimately there is a confrontation by the end, and without spoiling, it is, to me, one of the most satisfying confrontations that any of these, lower budget, high, what's the high concept horror movies create. I quite dug how the story resolved itself. So yeah, I was a big fan of the story here.
I definitely agree. And this is one of those movies that it's really the ending could have gone either way, and everything, and how they ended it, I thought was definitely more satisfactory than what we could have gotten. With even it was nice too. It's basically because they're just on a road trip basically on the promotion of their comic book and things, and then like what Cecil was saying, like the bodies start kind of showing up as scenes from his comic book and things like that, and he's starting getting these weird calls, and I really liked how this story, how they made this and everything, because at the same time it's like the scary thing about this is it's those possibilities, because you have those deranged kind of people. It's like they could take a fascination from something and recreate it out of just your basic horror comics. But story was solid, man, and also interesting in the fact that I appreciate where a creator of any kind, whether it's horror or whatever, has the Stephen King thing where they don't know how the hell to end something, and the writer's block that this guy, dude from Cabin in the Woods, actually, who's great in this movie. He's really good. But Jacob's Ladder too, wasn't he? He was
in
the brother.
Maybe he was.
I think he was the older brother.
I just remember hating that movie so much when I reviewed it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, though,
Derail.
And also his wife, right? I think Brewster was his wife.
Jordana Brewster.
And the fact that she was kind of copping on his ideas a little bit, and how there's a little tension and animosity amongst the couple. Well, the fact that she's like, I want to focus on the victims, but she's focusing on the victims of the people that he based his. So she's kind of like just clinging on his coattails a little bit, sort of situation, which is it's something that
in a sense, no, I get what you're talking about. And everything,
that's what I felt at least.
But I can see also her semi-justification and everything, because
and
again,
she had scenes where she tried to justify it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like even when things like this happen, no one talks about the victim. It's always about the asshole that did it.
Yeah.
So that's the nice little touch with her character that I liked about it.
Yeah, I thought. Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, I thought it was also interesting that mimicry was already on hand because of that interview early on, where the guy just calls creator out, and he's like, do you know who this girl was? She was killed by the person that you base these comics off of. And it's a very tensely written scene, and it's incredibly effective. So bits like that were what surprised me about this movie and put it above the standard slasher you'll see on Shudder.
Yeah. And the acting, I think, was solid enough where everyone acquitted themselves. No one brought you out of the movie. And, since the story is interesting enough, you want to make sure that the actors are good enough to carry it across, and I thought everyone was.
I would definitely agree, and even with our killer and everything like that. And again, I've said it before, I'm more of the creature guy. Like the slashers,
all of us are.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair.
The slashers, it's you gotta put something in there that's really gonna grab on me and everything like that. And honestly, I liked the character of this slasher and everything. He had some interest in him. I would have liked to seen just that little bit extra of a backstory, but it's definitely cool for what we got, and it was semi-original.
Yeah,
Sure enough.
Yeah, that's a semi.
It was at least enough.
It was enough.
It was enough.
Yeah, man. Performance-wise, I'm actually gonna spotlight the supporting team, like his, I guess, a PR person or whatever, and also Jay plays the head of the comic, if I remember right.
He's the investor, basically.
Yeah. I thought all of their chemistry was really fun, and that's where some of the quips and some of the meta, just kind of funny that I thought the movie was going to be permeated with. At least we got a little bit with those people before stuff got really off the rails.
Yeah, and again, the movie is well shot. Totally. It's nothing that really sticks out or anything like that as oh my god, blown away cinematography wise, but it's well shot. Nothing brings you out of the movie. You're brought into the moods very well, so I dug that. I thought the music was well enough handled, but really the gore is where this movie shines outside of the acting and the story.
Yeah.
They really lean into it, especially there's a bit that they show in the Red Band trailer.
Yeah, with the
that's about the triptych, and it was definitely cool. Really, really cool. But it's not the only cool scene. Again, everything that's pretty much arranged in the final confrontation is all good as far as special effects work goes as well.
Satisfying dinner table.
Yeah,
that's
so
all
I
yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that scene especially was was nerve-wracking because it's just you see him just oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, definitely I would say the gore and like the practical and everything is the shining baby of this movie. But one thing that I actually mentioned to Cecil, I think last week or whatever, was some of his lighting choices.
Yeah.
Some of his lighting choices and everything were actually really nice, and they helped to elevate kind of that ominous ambience of the scenes. Especially when we get like that green overtone that we had with like the moonscape, like that.
Also the Christmas theme.
Yes. Like those nice little touches and everything is just, it makes the enjoyment of your movie that much better.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'll just finish it off by saying we had another guy who's done a significant amount of comedic work in Dave Franco, who did The Rental. That was also a directorial debut, just like this for Jay. This movie brought the gore and seemed just more toned, more sharpened, and more polished as far as a debut as a horror director goes.
Yeah, and
I mean, The Rental's more thriller, I guess. But,
but you and I had talked about that on our review about that. Basically, Franco not knowing exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah, and this
Jay
was
knew what he wanted to
concise,
do.
Confirmed, and just very deliberate.
Yeah.
And almost seasoned in experience in that
exactly.
regard.
Yeah, he like Jay definitely knew what he wanted to do with this one.
Those Canucks, man.
Franco, he had the idea, but he lost it about halfway and didn't know how to end it.
And also the gore didn't deliver. In
Exactly.
that one, but it delivers in this
It
one.
definitely,
That's
exactly. But
particular
we're not talking about The Rental. We're talking about this.
Yes, random acts of violence.
Random acts, yes.
Which
and they were kind of
ultimately,
random.
it sounds like we all enjoyed it, you guys.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth your time and money, because I don't think it's on VOD, or it's
It's
on
on
VOD,
Shudder.
but it's
It's on
it's on
Shudder.
Shudder.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. I
Shudder
didn't remember.
exclusive.
We've watched a lot, so
Yeah.
forgive me.
There are so many streaming services.
yeah.
There's so many movies.
Random Acts of Violence is definitely worth your time, especially if you have Shudder. Shudder's only $5 a month, so even if you don't have Shudder, it's worth your time and money. So definitely check out Random Acts of Violence. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. And until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Robert Duell.
And gracias to our patrons up in Jaime and Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.